Hey guys, it's Trixie. Long time no see, at least not on this channel. I just wanted to give you a quick update on how everything is, how we feel now that we are 4. This is the little tiny bunny sleeping on my chest right now. This is the way she likes it, and I thought as long as she sleeps I can just tell you 1 or 2 things about our new family life. As most of you will know, the tiny bunny was born on March 11 in the early morning. I really wanted to inform more of you that she is there, but unfortunately that was not possible because the internet connection in the hospital was horribly bad. Sometimes I couldn't even reach Eric to tell him something important, so I'm very sorry that this didn't work, but there was no way. But there is nothing to worry about. This is just the standard procedure in Germany. Everything was fine, so we were allowed to leave the hospital after these 3 days. And yeah, we went home on March 15 in the evening. And the first thing I did was sitting on the couch crying my eyes out. There was just so much love and all these new responsibilities. There were so many fears, just the fear that I would break this fragile little creature that I cared so much about, that it just hit me. I couldn't stop crying. I was totally desperate and overwhelmed. Of course, also my hormones went crazy. Now not pregnant anymore, being a new mom, it makes you super emotional. Whenever I thought of something slightly sad, I could cry instantly. Just looking at my older daughter sometimes made my eyes tear up because, you know, all the love, it was just too many emotions to handle. And one of the biggest feelings I had was fear. Fear, fear, fear. The most severe problem was that I was told in the hospital to let my baby sleep in its own bed. And I know why this is advised, but sometimes things don't work the way you want them to. Little tiny bunny refused to sleep by herself in the first days and still. Up until now. Whenever I put her down in her crib or in her bed, she starts crying immediately. It has gotten a bit better already, but she's definitely not made for that from the start. So the only way she would sleep was on my chest, which is okay. I still know this from the first baby bunny, and people say that it's actually healthy to sleep like that for child and mother. So I was okay with that, and we survived the first nights like this. The only issue is that I broke my tailbone while giving birth this time. So I was basically sleeping on a broken bone every night so far, which hurts and which makes it difficult to find a sleeping position where you're comfortable sleeping yourself and taking care of a baby sleeping on top of you. So yeah, the first nights were pretty much a mess. And because of that, there was no way that Eric and the baby bunny could sleep in the same room with me. So they decided to abandon me and Tiny Bunny and leave to the baby bunny's room, which is where they are sleeping from the first day on. And I can only agree that this is the only way this can work at the moment. The baby bunny wakes up every 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes they're like 3 or 4 hour intervals where she doesn't fall asleep at all, crying, being difficult. Then I walk around with her, I feed her, I sing to her. All things that would keep the baby bunny from a healthy sleep, and Eric as well. So this is how it is right now. Obviously, that means that I am pretty lonely most of the time and that I miss having Eric and the baby bunny around. We have been sleeping as 3 people in one bed until now. And yeah, I miss cuddling. I miss hearing somebody else breathe at night and not just, you know, newborn snoring noises all the time. But then again, I'm always so exhausted in the evening that I don't really care. And I still have the tiny bunny, so I'm not completely by myself. The tiny bunny is 100% breastfed, so every time when she wakes up, I have to feed her. I have to sit up and take care that I don't fall asleep right away again, and make sure she eats enough, make sure she burps after eating so that she won't spit it all out again. This is all my responsibility. And you know, sometimes newborns are just overwhelmed with everything there is in the world. So the first nights she tended to wake up and she couldn't fall asleep again for like 3 or 4 hours, and she was crying, so I gave her my little finger to suck on because she was not actually hungry anymore. I wiggled her, I sang to her, I walked up and down the room with her, and this is basically what I do every night when she has these moments where she feels overwhelmed. And yeah, what happens when you don't sleep, what happens when you dedicate everything to a tiny little human creature? You become pretty exhausted. The lack of sleep really took things away from me, energy mostly, but also this like emotional stability. I felt tired, plus the weird hormones, plus everything being new and different. Long story short, what I want to say is that I ended up having the worst anxiety attacks ever. Mostly starting in the afternoon, like around 3 or 4, I would start having panic attacks. I would just panic. Already afraid of the night again, afraid of everything, afraid of, well, life. I just wanted my children to be happy and healthy, and it felt so overwhelming that I was responsible for the 2 of them, and it just scared the out of me. The good thing was that my mom was there from the 16th to the 19th at least, so she could help us a bit, and Eric also took 2 weeks, or well, 10 days of unpaid vacations, which was definitely something we needed. I really needed him to be by my side during the first days, just like emotions wise, and also for all the paperwork we had to do. But of course the downside was that he only had half a salary for the whole month of March. So again, more financial worries as well, and it wasn't easy at all. And again, we felt like we were in a rush, that we had to settle as quick as possible, that we had to get back on track so that he could get back to working again, that I would know what to do here at home, and I wish we would have had more time. But yeah, we used the time for all the paperwork. You wouldn't believe how much paperwork Germany makes you do during the first days of your new child being born. Standesamt, Geburtsurkunde, Vaterschaftsanerkennung, Familienversicherung, Steueridentifikationsnummer, Kindergeld, Elterngeld. It was crazy. And yeah, the worst part was that this took valuable time away from us, that especially I would have needed to adapt to the situation mentally, to calm down, to settle, and lastly, enjoy my 2 kids. Take family walks in the sun instead of driving from one office to another, sitting in stuffy waiting rooms. But at least we got almost everything done, and we can just forget about the paperwork now. I just took a little breastfeeding break, and now the tiny bunny is here with me. Let's see how well that works. So far she still sleeps on my chest at night, but I'm trying to practice with her, putting her down from time to time during the day, you know, sometimes on her back, sometimes on her belly when I'm around. Just making her feel safe with this, you know, she knows mommy is here, she hears me talking, and maybe like this we'll get used to her sleeping by herself more often and at some point in her bed. Anyway, even with her sleeping on my chest, everything got much better. The pain in my tailbone got weaker. I'm not having these weird stomach pains anymore that you have after giving birth. Gesundheit! Gesundheit! The tiny bunny and I are simply getting to know each other better, adapting to each other's habits. So the last 4 nights have actually been amazing. I slept like 6 to 7 hours, I would say, not in one piece. But you know, it adds up, and I feel rested enough to be ready for the next day, and that's really great. Also, in general, I don't feel so emotionally fragile again. I don't get these bad anxiety attacks again. It hits me every once in a while, but it's not every day anymore, and it happens much later, like around 7 or 8, when I notice that my day is almost over, even though I'm not that tired yet. When I face the truth that Eric and I will not watch a movie, we will not cuddle on the couch, I'll just go to bed when the baby bunny and he also go to bed, and we basically don't have any partnership time for each other. But that's a completely different thing than being scared to the bone by having all these huge responsibilities and being a mom of this cutie pie here. During the day, as you just saw, the tiny bunny mostly sleeps in my baby sling. That is just amazing. It's this cuddle bug thing that you can get for like 30 euros on Amazon, and I love it. And the tiny bunny obviously loves it as well. She loves to be in there. She feels safe. She feels happy and relaxed. She sleeps around 2 or 3, sometimes 4 hours in there, and I can get the housework done, take care of my second daughter. It's really great, and I can only recommend doing it this way. I know that some mothers will argue that this is not the right thing to do, like giving your child all the proximity that it needs, that it wants. But you know, I'm just trusting my instinct, and my gut feeling tells me to simply give her all the love that she asks from me. You know, some others say that you should make your child act independently from the first day, even letting it cry sometimes so that it notices that crying doesn't get it anything it wants. But personally, I find that pretty horrible, and it's simply not my philosophy. She is so tiny, in my opinion, way too tiny to be spoiled. And if she needs me, I'll be there. I just don't understand. If I were annoyed by giving my child proximity or by compromising my own time, why become a mother in the first place? Isn't it just about that? About being there? About dedication, commitment, and also sacrifice at times? Today is actually our first day alone here. Eric is at work again. The babysitter is currently taking care of the second bunny, but that's only for today. I just wanted to have an easy start. So for today, she's going to be here for 2.5 hours taking care of her, and the rest of the day is my job, being a mom of 2. So far it has been okay, but yeah, it will definitely be tough. It will not be easy all the time, but I'll do my best to provide both children with all the love and care that they need, and I'll just be a mom. There is nothing else right now. I'll just be there for them. Still, no worries. Sitting here again, making this video for you guys felt so good. So I'll try to keep you updated. I'll try to work on the birth vlog that I filmed. I filmed some footage in the hospital again. Also on Don't Trust the Rabbit, there will still be videos. I pre-filmed still quite a few. And yeah, you will not run out of content so quickly. The only other thing I can say is that I will be back on track when I'm ready to be. My children come first, but YouTube is my passion, so don't worry about it. I'll be back. I have to find the right balance, you know, of being a mom, of working, of being a person, a partner, a friend. And yeah, I'll figure that out, and then I'll be there for you. Oh no! Looks like it's feeding time again. So this is it for me for today. Have a wonderful day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time. Bye.